Okay, so first starting off with Forest Green, we saw Sweeney come in for Murphy. What was your thinking behind that change of personnel and a little tweak of the shape there?
Just because we knew they were very strong in midfield, so we felt that going with an extra body might help us. To be fair, it didn't. I don't think that's down to Dan. I just think they're a very good side, very strong in midfield, and I felt that's where they won the game. As I say, the reports had come back that they were very strong in there. We had to change our shape very early on and sort of match them up, which I'm not a big fan of doing, but I just felt they were getting the better of us in there. And so it's just to try something different. But as I say, it probably worked in spells, but overall they were just, I think, a bit too good on the day for us.
So we've seen the team play a few different shapes over the bank holiday. How does that affect you in your role in terms of communicating with whoever's in defence?
Yeah, I think after Monday, where we played the different system, obviously with the three at the back, involves a bit more talking. You've got to speak a lot to the wing backs and make sure that they're adjusting their shape as the play evolves in front of us. But I think Corley done a lot of that. Corley's he's a good communicator, and if you've got him in the middle of the back three, he tends to orchestrate it all and do a lot of organising. So I mean, my game doesn't differ that much, but yeah, I've got to say it did Monday because you obviously, it's a different set of information.
Played at previous clubs last year. Played 3 at the back, 4 at the back, 5 at the back. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. I think me, Action, Corley have all sort of been in that formation before, so it's nothing new really.
And talking of trying something different, in Boreham Wood you opted for a back three, which I don't think I've ever seen you do since you came here, so that was an interesting option, but it seemed to work.
Yeah, it was one of them. I think before we've never really done it because we never had the personnel to do it. This year, obviously, with Lokko being a lefty, Action and Corley, it gives us that option. I felt after losing back-to-back games, I know it's against everyone was going, well, it's Tranmere and Forest Green, but I just felt that after losing back-to-back games, it was important we kept a clean sheet. Away from home against the Boreham Wood side, they've started very well. When I spoke to Forest Green after the game, they were saying they're a very strong side, one of the best sides they've played against, and I just felt that it would make us solid, and that was what I wanted to do, was go there first and foremost and be hard to beat. We still need to be better on the ball. I don't think we were as good in possession. I thought we missed packs, to be honest. Because he does give us that calmness in midfield and always wants the ball. But no, from a defensive side of things, if you're looking at the first up until Atch went off, I think every chance they had was from distance. They never really hurt us. And then maybe once Atch come off and we had to go back to where we were, we found it a little bit harder.
Is there anything really that changes for you as part of your responsibilities when you turn to a back three?
Yeah, like when you're playing 4 at the back, usually you've got your man in front of you to sort of man mark, but in terms of 3 at the back, you have to be sort of in between players, and you have to be on your toes to sort of push out wide or stay central. So you've got to think a lot more, but you're still staying pretty central. So it's pretty similar to any other formation.
To be honest, we sort of dropped it on the boys a bit. I knew Lokko, Atch and Corley had played it before. I knew sort of Millsy I wasn't too worried about. I know he knows the position, which is why we brought Reece in on the right, because he had played it before. But as a midfield and forwards, I think it's a little bit different, and you need to keep possession of the ball better once you gain it back. But we didn't do that enough. But it was one of them. We have dropped it on. We wanted to do more work on it. It's nice to have that option, and it's an option that I'm sure we'll look at again at some point.
So is that something you're now looking to work on in training over the next few
weeks?
Yeah,
we will do. Obviously, Atch getting injured straight away, it kind of goes out the window. But certainly, if he's fit and there's games that we see fit, then we'll use it. But like I say, as a manager, it's great to have them options, and hopefully we can do a bit of work on that. We can kind of chop and change when we need to.
Against Boreham Wood, we didn't actually see a lot of the ball, but you didn't really have a lot to do. So does that sort of give you an idea of how perhaps important possession is? As we saw with Leicester in the Premier League, they didn't have a lot of the ball, but when they did have it, they did stuff with it. So, and that was probably quite a good example on Monday.
Yeah, it is. I think the football world's gone a little bit crazy with this obsession with having the ball, and as we proved on Monday, that it doesn't win you football matches. Obviously, it's a little bit easier to have the ball than chasing after it, but I thought we set up quite well defensively, and we restricted them to long range efforts. And
I think if we could frustrate them with our good shape and sort of hit them on the counter attack, that they get frustrated, and we get joy from attacking on the break. But it took us a little while to sort of get that going, and then but at the end of the day we got there in the end. So
we were fortunate at the end to get the goal. But I think the aim was to, after Saturday, to keep a clean sheet and get a little bit of confidence again in terms of defensively. But fortunately, we nicked the 3 points.
A lot of teams in this league will keep the ball. We've got some good players in this league. We've also got some good players, but I think our biggest strengths are our unity and our organisation at the back, and throughout the pitch. So I think that could be a style of play that we'll play this season.
A point was probably a fair result. Because Arcade had a lot of possession second half, but if you're actually looking at chances, I think over the course of the game we probably had the better chances. Sweeney had a good chance of a header, Corley had a good chance of a header, and then you've got Tom Murphy's, which he's got to score there really, Tom, and so you're looking at it there, and we've had probably the 3 best chances in the game. So that's football. Like I said after the game, you'll play really well some games, and you'll lose games, and then other games you'll play crap and you'll win. So that's football. That's the way it works. We'll just get on with it.
You must be happy personally to get your first clean sheet of the season.
Oh, you wouldn't believe. No, yeah, delighted. It's sort of, I didn't want it to end up as one of them things that we were waiting for. You go past 10 or 12 games and it becomes a big thing. So no, it's brilliant to get them up and running.
So on Saturday we have Wrexham. Last time we played them a couple of years ago in the FA Cup. Since then they've changed managers, so can we expect anything slightly different from what we saw before?
There'll be a good footballing side. Like you said earlier, teams have a lot of possession. I feel that you're going to get games like this in this league, and we are going to have spells without the ball. And I think Wrexham have got players capable of doing that. But like I say, we've improved as a side. That's no disrespect to the lads we have, but we've got better as a side. And I think we'll give them a good game.
Played against them last year, got some good footballers, so they'll have quite a big possession again probably, but we'll be well equipped to whatever they throw at us.
It's crazy to think a couple of years ago we were playing them in the FA Cup, and it was a big scout for us to try and beat them and go and get a result there. And now we're equals in the league, so it's a day that it should be good. It's something that sort of brings home exactly where we are at the moment, and it's a part of this journey that all seems a bit crazy. But we've got to treat the game as professionally as possible, and we're at home, so we want to go and win the game.